Hi, my name is Tay, otherwise known as Lovefromaleo, and this is my channel, aka Lovefromaleo. So first of all, this feels so weird to say. I finally got tagged by another channel, and I'm like super excited because I have been on YouTube for years, honey. And I used to always see like people getting tagged, and back when tagging, those tag challenges and stuff like were really popping. Okay, so anyways, this is like full circle moment for me, and I'm just like super excited. So anyways, I got tagged by a really awesome tarot channel. She does like where you see like different decks and different spreads. She reads, she has like crystals and stuff, and just an awesome channel. So go check her out. I'm gonna have the name here while I'm just rambling. So I'm gonna go ahead and just answer the questions, and I tag anybody who's interested in doing this that is in the tarot community or any type of divination. Okay, so all right. So the first question is, how did you get into tarot or oracle? This is a very interesting question because I honestly don't know. I have no idea. For my, was it 18th, maybe 19th birthday, I went to a crystal shop just out of the blue. Like, I really don't even know how I figured out about crystals, honestly. I just like went to a spiritual shop, and it was on my birthday, which is August 22nd, which was also an eclipse. I was born in an eclipse, and also the birthday that I went to that shop for the first time, it was also like, I think a solar eclipse or something like that. So yeah, I went in there and I got all into crystals. I didn't even think about tarot, and I was just like looking around, and I got some crystals, came back home, looked them up. Like, I literally just went in there and just got what I thought was like, it stood out to me. I didn't read anything. And then I got home, started researching it, and I started getting into crystals and all these things. And then somehow I think that just led me into like finding tarot readers. I really wish I knew like how I got into it. I really don't know though. So the next question is, are you drawn to tarot or oracle more, and why? I would have to say tarot, only because I'm a Virgo moon, and so I really like being able to translate like the meanings behind something, the symbolization behind something towards a specific message. Kind of like, it's like I'm reading pictures to say words. That's how I envision my tarot. It's just how my mind works. So I think I appreciate tarot for that, but I also love oracle cards because I feel like the messages are so unique and specific. I almost feel like they're sacred, So like whenever I do oracle, I only do like one or maybe two in a reading, just because I feel like whatever the oracle message is, it's that. Unless I'm called to do more. But I feel like with tarot, it's literally just like another alphabet. It's another way to like translate spirit. That's just how it is for me. And so it also came very like easy for me to pick it up, for me to, I honestly didn't have to like, I study tarot just to be accurate because I just can't do anything but like learn. That's just what I do, is absorb information. Gemini rising, Virgo moon. So that's what I do. But it's like something about naturally having like intuitive messages. I don't feel like everybody has that. And so when I could like start understanding why I would always have these like thoughts and channels and all these weird things, it really just made sense for my life. Like just looking back on everything that's happened in my life, which that's a whole nother story, y'all. My life is freaking trippy, okay? But yeah, so once I started to put two and two together, I was like, maybe this is the way that I can start understanding my thoughts and like what my feelings and my urges, and actually have like a way to compartmentalize it and organize it, basically organize my fucking life, right? Okay, so the next question is, if you could create your own deck, what would it be, oracle or tarot? I definitely would love to have my own tarot deck. That's actually one of my goals. I feel like I would have multiple for different things, or different situations, whatever. But I think I would rather have a tarot deck. I don't know. Is there such thing as having a tarot deck that has like oracle cards in it? Because I think that's me. Like I have to have both, because I'm a person who is I look at everything that the tarot says, but I also like, it's something about those oracle messages. Like I feel like I can make a bomb oracle deck, but why not have two in one? All right, so the next one is, show us your first deck, whether it's oracle or tarot or one of each. Which is your first you learn with? This one, you guys know. Look, Virgo right here. Look, my tried and true, okay? Some people hate that cards look old. I love it. I love vintage everything, okay? Like, I'm literally an old lady. Like, I'm literally like one of the oldest women alive, okay? Literally. I'm just young in this lifetime right now, but trust me, I'm old, okay? Yeah, like, so I really admire how Virgo card again, 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's all beat up, but listen, the amount of like connection I have with this deck is almost comical. Like, honestly, like Like literally when I look at my deck, like I literally can laugh. Sometimes I'll be like, don't call me out. Like it's a relationship that I can't really make you guys understand unless you're a tarot reader and you're like really connected to your cards or a specific deck, or there's different relations that you have with all of your decks. Like it's kind of like kids, like you love them, but like you have different ways of showing the love, you know? Oh, it's so weird. That sounds so stupid to say out loud, but it's really true. And then my first oracle deck that I got, I guess it would be this one here. I don't know if this is considered oracle, but it was the zodiac. Look, it's all rubbed off. It's just like the sun here, but it's called the Zodiac Oracle deck. Yeah, it is an oracle deck. Oh. So I guess I do love oracle decks because I love like how they clarify things for me so easily, like with ease. This is my first one here. You guys have seen this on my channel for years as well. This one is holding up pretty well though. It's not as beat up as my tarot deck here. Yeah, it's still beautiful. This, I still to this day, like I still learn with this deck here. Like every freaking day for the past probably like 3 years consecutively, like every single day for like the past 2 years, I pull my cards for myself. It's kind of like a ritual. That's how I get my day started. With sometimes you get different messages with the same card, and you know, depending on how many cards you pull from different decks, all of the messages change, and I just find that so fascinating. Like, ooh, it just makes me tingle thinking about it. All right, so we're gonna go to the next question. Show us your recent oracle deck or tarot and recent crystal. Why were they calling you? Ooh, I like these questions. All right, so I think this is my newest one, if I'm not mistaken. This is the tarot deck that I actually just made a video on before this one, so go check that out. But this is the New Era Elements Tarot. I'm not sure what really drew me into it, besides the fact that I just couldn't stop going back to it. Because I had went to a tarot store, and I was looking around at first, and it immediately caught my eye. I think it's just the imagery, even though it's like in black and white. But like I said, you guys, like vintage everything, like I don't know, something about it just connected to me. The contrast, I love the contrast. So when I started to look into the cards, I guess the elements would be the first thing that I loved looking at it, because I'm really into like astrology as well. So I try to incorporate that as well into my divination when I am doing tarot. Oh, the sun. Look, I'm talking about myself, guys. So yeah, it was just like the pictures on this one that really got me, because as you can see, these aren't like the, I mean, this is the sun card, but they also have cards like deception. You also have cards like grief. And so this is like, look at this picture, you guys. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate creativity. I appreciate realness. Like I appreciate the truth. And so I felt like this deck really, the pictures, like they just depict such amazing ways of looking at tarot in a modern way. And so that's what I loved about it. And so you'll see this more on my channel. But yeah, this is my newest deck that I have, and I'm actually in love with it. I really do love it. And then my most recent crystal, I actually don't know. I need to go get some more crystals, huh? If you could share a tip with someone learning tarot for the first time, what would it be? My tip to those learning tarot for the first time, it would either be to learn how the pentacles, the wands, the swords, and the cups cards, how they all relate to the elements, because I feel like it makes it a lot easier to understand the meanings behind the cards. So for example, when you're learning about cups, obviously it's water. We're going to use the easiest example. So with water, you need to know what water represents in life, not just in tarot, but like, I guess my tip would be like, break it down like as far as you can go where you feel comfortable. But when it comes to tarot, it's so much deeper than just tarot. It's so much deeper than just this card means this. You know what I mean? It's like this card means this, like in general, but how does it fit in the context? What did you ask your deck? Like, I think I have all these tips, but like it's really important for people to understand how tarot works in the first place, but also understand like, I think themselves. Like if you don't really have a good intuition, or if you're it's really hard for you to like listen to yourself, or if you have like all these voices all the time and you don't know which one is you like, know yourself first before you start tarot, because then you're just going to be getting all these messages, and I think that's dangerous for people who don't really know like like which one is their voice, you know? First tarot tuber you followed. I really don't know which one, but I can name the ones that I started watching in the very, very beginning. The Quietest Revolution, for sure. Eat, Love, Read, which is Sal. I love him. What's her name? High Vibrations. Those are the ones coming up in my head right now. There was also some like smaller tarot tubers, but that was like later on after I really, really started getting into it. But those are like the big ones that I came across when I was looking up Leo love, like, you know, like all that basic shit. What was life before tarot or the holistic path for you? Where did you come from? So before tarot, I mean, I had a pretty good upbringing, depending on who you ask, I guess. My childhood was really good, but once I got to a certain age, there was just a lot of things that happened, and like kind of in like my middle school to high school years, and I became very I became very unstable, like I feel like mentally. I don't think other people could see it. I think they just kind of thought I shut down, but I felt like I on the inside was just like I had too many impulses. I had a lot of feelings that I weren't sure if they were mine. I would have these moments, I would have like crazy dreams that I couldn't understand, and all of these weird supernatural things that would be happening, and I couldn't decode the messages. Basically, it's like I was always behind the curtain. I could always peek behind the curtain. You know when they say like the veil of like the universe or whatever. Ever since I was little, I was always able to naturally tap into that. I think most people were, but the older I got, the more other people, I felt like they didn't have those abilities anymore, but I still did. And so I didn't know how to deal with it. So when I came across tarot somehow, it was just a way for me to really understand what was going on. It gave me the gateway to look into everything deeper as far as astrology and elements and how we all work together, natal charts. Like astrology is literally like my saving grace. Like honestly, I don't know where I would be without astrology and tarot, and just it's not just the act of, you know, reading cards, but it's the ritual of having the courage to dig deeper and look and figure out what you can do to become better, or what you're doing, like how are you being accountable. It's like it trickles into so many different things, you know. And then once I really started having those synchronistic events on my wheel, once I really understood what was happening and I understood my own power within myself, that's when I was like, oh yeah, this is what I have to do this, because it gives me so much clarity for me to understand like who I am and why all of these things have happened in this life. And I know this isn't my first life, like I've already figured that out, but that's also through doing things like this. It's like a reminder for my soul. This is like how I stay stable for my soul, because in past lives, and even like moving forward, I know I'm a person who is here to serve others, but in a way that is bigger than myself. Like I am a messenger, and we all are, but I just know for me it's in these weird things like divination and writing, channeling, learning about astrology, studying astrology, like going back into time, looking forward, working with nature, working with flowers, working with, like, you start to figure out so many things about yourself. And I don't know, that's just what I needed to do. I needed to do this. And I know for a fact, like doing the math and everything, it was like whenever I went to that tarot store on my on that certain birthday, it was the trine year for me. Literally, it aligned in my chart. Like everything is for a reason, but when you really can see it, it makes things so much more deep. It almost like pulls you into the universe and throws you out of space at the same time. It's a really crazy like thing to think, but y'all, I could talk about that forever. My favorite go-to spread. Y'all, I'm not really a spread type of gal. Like I really am trying to get more deeper into like different spreads, but I'm really just like, I go with the flow. Like whatever I feel the need to like shuffle, pull out, I'll shuffle until I feel like it's time for me to stop. Like I'm very, very intuitive with the formatting. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that answers that question. I don't have an anticipated deck because I literally go to spirit stores and stuff and I just get what's calling towards me. I'm more of a like, if I feel it, then I get it. But with these quarantine times, I'm probably going to have to just go and search and see what I find and be like, oh, that one looks cute, and then buy it. Well, I already answered that. What's in your tarot wish list? I don't have one. But if you guys have tarot decks that you would like me to use, like maybe you have some and you want to learn how to work with it better, or maybe you just want to see that deck on my channel specifically, you can let me know and I can either get it or you can send it to me, okay? All of y'all. All of y'all. My impressions on tarot, I to be honest, in the beginning of it, I thought I was special because I could read tarot. Like it's, now that I know myself for real, I know that it's so much deeper than tarot. Tarot is just the way that I translate it to other people so that you guys can understand it. But like when I first got into it, I loved it and I thought it was so freaking cool, and I just couldn't believe that so many people were afraid of it. I couldn't believe that so many people were skeptical. Like I get that there's people that literally just say whatever. But there's really some tapped in people out here. There's really some angels that are literally sent here to do things like this. And I just feel like if you are really into it and if you're really meant to be a part of this, you know, lifestyle or whatever, then you'll find those people. They'll find you. So it's like, you know, there's always an up and down to everything. But I feel like I think my biggest impression was like, why are people so afraid of this? I just couldn't understand it. Would you like to start reading tarot, yes or no? And if no, explain what is stopping you from reading tarot. I do read tarot. I actually don't read on myself as much as I think people probably would think. Actually, I don't read on myself at all. Like in the mornings, I do like, it's not a reading on me. It's more like a reading on the energies at hand with the day. Like what I'm going to be dealing with. Just to kind of give myself like a way to adjust to everything. It's kind of a weird thing to kind of say out loud. But me being a Gemini rising, adapting is a part of my nature. So I feel like the way that I learn how the signs are truly is by living those energies and being able to identify what that feeling is. Because we are all the 12 signs in the natal, you know, in the zodiac. So you can tap into all of those different elements, all of those different signs. And so I choose to want to know what I'm using that day. So whenever it arises or whenever I need to be able to help someone understand themselves better, I can tell them from experience, you know. It's kind of dangerous, I guess, but like, listen, I know what I'm supposed to do here, okay? Wait, have you ever gotten a reading from another reader, and what were your feelings towards it? I do watch quite a bit of readings, I guess, like especially in the beginning of when I was doing tarot. I would want to get readings, but I think for some reason, just me knowing like how to read, I would like watch readings, and then I would just like, if I had any questions, I would answer them on my own. As a Virgo moon, it's really hard for me to open up to people and ask for help. So it's so weird, you guys. That's a whole nother video. The last question is, what kind of vibes do you like to feel when getting a reading? I like to feel it all. Not to say that I like to, you know, feel all the bad things, but when I'm reading, there's no way that I can just like not feel. Like if I can't feel that day for whatever reason, like if something has my mind occupied, I just won't read. Because when I read, I literally feel the energies of like what the person or the people are doing, the interaction. Sometimes I can see, like I'm seeing with my third eye, but it's like I can see the situation. I think that's a fire sign thing. Like I can see it in my head. It's really weird. And then sometimes I can hear certain like phrases or songs or just little things here and there. Sometimes it'll be like the voice of some people that I've heard before, but I feel like I know how it's intuitive. I really don't know how to explain it, guys. But I like to feel I felt like uppity before in readings. I felt nervousness. I feel a lot of anxiety a lot sometimes when I do readings, but I think it's just for the people that are watching the readings or like the situations. But I like that too. I like to be able to feel changes within people, like going through things. I feel like when people watch tarot readers and it's always like the same reading each month or however long, you know, that they do their increments, it's like where's the change? It's life. like so that's how I feel about it. It's like if I feel something too stable, something's being hidden and I'm like, this ain't right. And so yeah, it's the little things. It's really intuitive. I don't really know if I'll be able to like explain how I do it or any of that until like maybe when I'm like way older and I have like the words to express like what I do. It is what it is. Okay, I guess that's the end of this tag video. Like I said, I tag all of you guys. If you would like to be more in contact with me, I do have an Instagram. I have a personal account which I'll link here, and then I also have a like everything tarot, everything like what I just talked about here. That's also my new Instagram that I'm working on. If you want me to follow you, just let me know. Like if you're doing like tarot and all that stuff too, I want to be a part of it. Like I love the tarot community. I think it's such a beautiful thing, and I think people like us really need to like come together at this time. People need the weirdos. People need the aliens. People need the angels right now, okay? If you want a private reading from me, you can email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com, or you can watch any of the readings that I have here on my channel and just see if you vibrate with whatever. Vibrate? Whoa. Let's see if you resonate with anything that I'm saying on my channel. You can also add me on patreon.com/lovefromaleo, where I do different type of readings, where I'm a little bit more raunchier because I'm really a potty mouth, fire sign, I can't help it. So I can't really put those things out on here, but it's like a deeper dive into messages that I do consecutively each month for all the signs, and also like intuitive messages that I get in channels and just different spreads that I'm working on that won't make it to YouTube. So yeah, add me on there. There's also a discount for a private reading. I think that's it, y'all. That was a mouthful. But anyways, I love you guys so much. If you're interested in tarot or anything like that and you have questions about it, just ask me. I'm here. yeah, I love you all, and I will see you in my next video.